What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel if you're a returning subscriber, and if you're new, in today's video I am coming to you guys with my fall TBR. From my research, I learned that fall actually started September 23rd, and I'm currently recording this on the 27th, so it's technically fall even though it don't feel like it. And I live in Georgia, so baby, it was hot one of these days, and I was like, it's not giving fall energy at all because it was a little too hot. But besides that, it is technically fall. So I'm going to be showing you guys all the books that I plan on reading this fall. So far I have 14 individual books and then 2 box sets. So yeah, let's just go ahead and hop right into the video. Alright, you guys, so the first book that I'm going to be showing you guys is actually the book that I'm currently reading right now. You will also see a little bit more detail of this book in my reading challenge that I'm doing that you guys will see next week. But it is Ace of Spades. Also, if you guys like keep up with my community tab on this channel, you guys would know that I told you I was currently reading this. But I'm currently doing a reading challenge right now with this book, so I am about, what, 211, chapter 21, and I believe it's like 15 pages. So, yeah. And this is by Farida. That person right here. I ain't even gonna butcher her name like that because y'all know I'm not good with names. But so far, I'm really enjoying it. It is a mystery thriller type book, and it's definitely giving the mystery thriller because baby, I'm trying to guess who Ace is and shit like that, and baby, it's a little tricky. But I'll talk more about that in the reading challenge that I have coming up next week, so I'm just leaving it at that. But that is Ace of Spades. Okay, so the next book that I plan on reading is, because honestly the cover of it is giving fall energy, if I'm not mistaken. It's giving pumpkin spice and everything nice. That's actually funny because one of the words in the title is spice. But I'm going to be reading Honey and Spice by Bolu Babalola. Again, I'm sorry if I butcher any of the authors' names, but this is Honey and Spice, and it goes, the synopsis reads, sharp-tongued and secretly soft-hearted Kiki Banjo has just made a huge mistake. As an expert in relationship invasion and the host of the popular student radio show Brown Sugar, she's made it her mission to ensure the women of the African Caribbean Society at Whitewell College in Southern England do not fall into the mess of situationships, players, and heartbreak. But when the queen of the unbothered kisses Malachi Corday, the guy she just publicly denounced as the waste man of Whitewell, in front of every black Wellian on campus, she finds her show on the brink. They're soon embroiled in a fake relationship to try and salvage their reputations and save their futures. Kiki has never surrendered her heart before, and a player like Malachi won't be the one to change that, no matter how charming he is or how electric their connection feels. But surprisingly entertaining study sessions and intimate late night talks at old-fashioned diners force Kiki to look beyond her own presumptions. Is she ready to open herself up to something deeper? So that's the synopsis of Honey and Spice. It's giving everything I need because it's fake dating, and I don't know if I told you guys before, but I love some fake dating. Fake dating just hit differently for me. I don't know. I've learned that some of my top favorite books are fake dating. So it's giving what it needs to be giving. And again, the cover is giving fall. It's giving pumpkin spice latte. Okay, pumpkin cream chai latte that I showed you guys in my reading vlog of Grown. That's what this is giving. So okay, alrighty, so the next book that I'm going to be reading, that I technically showed you guys on my community tab that I was currently reading, but I kind of sort of DNF'd, is going to be Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. This is by J.K. Rowling. It was no specific reason why I DNF'd this. It was just simply because, I don't know, it wasn't giving what it needed to be giving at the time. I didn't get far, I'll be honest with you. I got to like I'm pretty sure I got to chapter 3, so I didn't get far in the book. Also, I think another thing that I be learning about like the Harry Potter series is the long ass chapters. I don't like long chapters. I genuinely don't, and I think that's just really what was getting me. Like, I just wasn't feeling the long ass chapters, and then you gotta think like this book is about 700 pages. Okay, 700 pages. Okay, this is a lot, and it's long ass chapters too. So I was like, oh my god, I don't like that. But I keep hearing so many people talk about how this is like their favorite book in the series. I'm just like, I got to read it. I got to. I'm going to eventually read it. I'm probably just going to switch over to my Kindle because it is on Kindle Unlimited and read it that way. Switch on and off between the physical copy and the Kindle version. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't think I'm going to read the synopsis just because, again, it's the this is the fourth book in the series. And again, it'll spoil what happens in the other 3 books. So I'm not going to read synopsis of this. Goblet of Fire, Harry Potter, I would definitely read this fall. I might even do a reading vlog just to pump myself up to continue reading it. Okay, so be on the lookout for that. Alright, you guys, so the next book that I'm going to read this fall is going to be Dance of Thieves. This is by Mary E. Pearson. Okay, I showed you guys in like a book haul way back in the day, but it's been a while, so I'm just going to go ahead and read the synopsis for you guys. It says right here, a formidable outlaw family that claims to be the first among nations, a son destined to lead, thrust suddenly into power, 3 fierce young women in the Rattan, the Queen's Premier Guard, a legendary street thief leading a mission determined to prove herself, a dark secret that is a threat to the entire continent. When outlaw leader meets reformed thief, a cat and mouse game of false moves ensues, bringing them intimately together in a battle that may cost them their lives and their hearts. So that's the synopsis. It's pretty vague, which I kind of enjoy because it's gonna like, it doesn't seem like it's gonna spoil. It didn't spoil a lot of it. Also, I know it's another book in this because it's a duology, and the other one is Vow of Thieves. So I've heard really good things about this, and it's giving fall vibes. I don't know. It's giving fall vibes to me, so I definitely think I'm gonna hop into it this fall. So again, it's Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. The next book that I'm going to read is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I have Red Rising and Golden Sun. I didn't put it in this video because, again, that's the second book in the series, and it's 3 books, I believe, in the series. So I'm just going to read the synopsis for this one. This one says, his wife taken, his people enslaved, driven by a longing for justice and the memory of lost love, Darrow will stop at nothing to bring down his enemies, even if he must become one of them to do so. So that's the synopsis of Red Rising. It's very, again, vague. Simple. It's not giving you too much. And I've heard really good things about this. So I'm really excited to hop into it. And it's not that big. I think I could, I could pull through with it. But so yeah, Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I'll most likely be hopping into this fall. Alrighty, so the next 3 books, because I'm going to just show them all together, because I technically talked about them in an unboxing that I did recently in the Grown reading vlog that I just did of Tiffany D. Jackson. So I'm not going to read the synopsis of this because, again, I just read like all 3 synopses in my previous video. So if you guys want to know a little bit more about the books, then go ahead and make sure you check out that video and leave a like. Thank you. I appreciate it so much. But they're all by Tiffany D. Jackson, actually. They're all by Tiffany D. Jackson. They're all by Tiffany D. Jackson, actually, right now. These is Allegedly by Tiffany D. Jackson. Hopefully you guys can see. I know the lighting is acting a little crazy, but this is Allegedly. And then we have Let Me Hear a Rhyme. And then we have The Weight of Blood. Now this one is definitely giving fall. It's giving a Carrie retelling. So it's a retelling, reform type of Carrie. If you know the book and the movie by, the book and the movie by Stephen King, Carrie. Yeah, it's definitely giving that. That's from the synopsis that I read in that vlog. So again, these 3 by Tiffany D. Jackson. I'm definitely hopping into this fall. You feel me? Like, I think I'm about to read these. After I finish Ace of Spades and the reading challenge I'm doing, I'm going to hop into another book that is giving little smut vibes, if you will. And that's probably going to be a quick read for me. I'm going to read that on my Kindle. But then after that, I'm probably going to hop into these. So, yeah. The next book that I have is Forged by Blood by... I ain't even gonna try to pronounce homegirl's name like that, because y'all already know. I don't even need to keep saying it in every video. I'm not good at pronouncing names. But Forged by Blood, genuinely what made me even get this book was because I saw it on Fairy Loot. I think that's the name of the book subscription that I follow on Instagram. They had like, I guess like a limited deluxe version of this book. It doesn't look like this, it looks completely different, but they gave like a little brief summary of it, and they was talking about how it was pretty much African mythology and also a love triangle. That's what really caught me. I ain't gonna cap. When I saw the love triangle, because I mean, a little bit of love with some fantasy, my cup of tea, honestly, truly, honestly, okay? So when I saw that, I was like, oh, this sounds interesting, and then I read a synopsis of it, and so I ended up just buying it off Amazon, which, to be completely shocked, okay, they had actually packaged it very good. Like, they had like a very like tight wrap over this, so because y'all know how Amazon do fucking books, they don't give a fuck about how they deliver people's books, but they actually did a really good packaging for this, so it was very, I'm shocked. I ain't gonna cap, I'm shocked. But this, I believe this is new too. This came out recently, if I'm not mistaken, because I saw another Instagram page talking about the new Black author books that are coming out this later half of the year, and this was one of them. So I'm pretty sure this came out very recently, probably this month, September, if I'm not mistaken, but don't quote me. But it says, okay, let me just say this, I'm about to butcher a whole lot of these fucking words, I ain't gonna cap, because even when I read it, the synopsis, I just kind of like skimmed past them because they was a little complex for me, I ain't gonna cap. So if I butcher some of these names, I'm so sorry, but yeah. So let me just start that over. Okay, it says, in the midst of an authoritarian regime and political invasion, Demi just wants to survive, to avoid the suspicion of the non-magical Ages who occupy her ancestral homeland of Ilf, to escape King Sorensen's brutal genocide of her people, the darker-skinned, magic-wielding Aluso, and to live peacefully with her secretive mother while learning to control the terrifying blood magic that is her birthright. But when Demi's misplaced trust costs her mother's life, survival gives way to vengeance. She bides her time until the devious Lord Aquincy grants her the perfect opportunity, kidnap the Ajay prince, Jonas, and bargain with his life to save the remaining Aluso. With the help of her reckless childhood friend Colin, Demi succeeds in it, but discovers that she and Jonas share more than deadly secrets. Every moment tangles them further in a forbidden, unmistakable attraction, much to Colin's and Demi's distress. The kidnapping is now a joint mission to return to the king, help get Lord Equincy on the council, and bolster the voice of the Aluso in a system designed to silence them. But the way is dangerous. Demi's magic is growing yet uncertain, and she's not sure if she can trust the two men at her side. A tale of rebellion and redemption, race and class, love and trust and betrayal. Forged by Blood is an epic fantasy at its finest from the enthusiastic, emerging voice. So that's the synopsis. I hope you guys kind of understood what I was saying. It's giving, hold on, I'm gonna probably put a picture somewhere in the video. Sins of the Father. I'm gonna put the picture up by Smoggy. I talked about this book way back in the day, which is pretty much a reverse harem. So it's like her and then 3 other dudes, but it's giving that to me in a way, because in that book it's Kita with a D. So Kita was set out to kill the king because the king was responsible for killing all her people, and so while she was trying to like pretend to be like some type of, she was pretending to be something when she was really a warrior, she ended up falling for the son of the king, because the king's son is nothing like the king. Like, the king is just an asshole and evil, but the son, he was actually really sweet. He was a redhead too and he was just so sweet and cute and nice, and she was trying so hard not to fall for him because she had 2 other dudes back at home who their whole plan was to like kill the king's family, all of them. Like, not only the king, his 2 sons, which was again that one of the dudes she fell for, and the other son who was completely like his dad, okay, full of shit, and the daughter who's also a really kind-hearted sweet girl too. So she was supposed to set in to, like, you know, assassinate them and all, but she kind of got distracted by the sun. But she still got her two lovers who are, like, you know, trying to get an army so they could all, like, team up and attack him. So it's giving kind of like that to me, at least, because she's talking about how Demi is she kidnapped the king's son to try to use him as like a like as bait, really. Like, I have your son, so you better help my people or I'm gonna kill him. But I guess she might be falling for the son, because again, this is also a love triangle, so I think she's also gonna have feelings for her friend, who his name is Colin, but also she's gonna fall for the son that she kidnapped, Jonas, the prince. So it's giving that, but instead of it being like a reverse harem, it's giving love triangle, which I really wish it was reverse, you know, because then at that point she ain't gotta choose. She could have both of them. You feel me? That's how I like it. I don't know, I never read a love triangle. Well, no, I did read the Inheritance game, but I never read the rest of them. So I guess you can tell I don't really care for the whole love triangle. Why would I care about the love triangle when I could read reverse harem books where she could have it all? Why she gotta choose? She can have all of them. That's how I feel. That shouldn't mean. But again, that's Forged in Blood. I'm really excited about this one because it gives me so much of that, but probably a little bit more fantasy in it, because I feel like with Sins of the Father, it wasn't that much fantasy. It was more like romance, but you did have a little bit of fantasy in that, you know. So I'm excited. But yeah, that is Forged by Blood. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I genuinely think I picked that up because it reminded me so much of Sins of the Father, and that was like a 5-star read. And I think I read that earlier this year. I think I did. 2023? It might have been 2022. But baby, I remember that book like the back of my hand, baby. I was actually thinking about rereading that book, actually. But that gives me so much of that vibe, so I'm here for it. I just hate that it's got to be love triangle and not a reverse harem type thing where she can have all of them. She can have all of them. You feel me? But I'll take what I can get. I'm really excited to read that one, actually. Alrighty, so now the next book that I'm going to be reading this fall is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I have yet to jump into this, even though it's been a while, and I've heard really good things about this. I'm not going to read the synopsis of this just because I feel like it's very popular, and also I did read the synopsis of this in one of my book hauls, so my Books A Million book hauls, so I'm not going to read the synopsis of this. But again, Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I believe this is also a fantasy romance type book as well, so yep. Alrighty, so these two books, honestly, I picked these two books out specifically because really at the end of the day I just want to read this author this fall. I don't know if I necessarily read both of these books. I actually have 3 books by this author, and I've never like even picked up one of them, but he gives fall vibes. Okay, he is the fall king, which is so funny because his last name is King. If you haven't guessed it, Stephen King. Okay, I have 2 books from him. I have The Institute and It. Okay, yeah, I might hop into this one out of the other 2. But if I really like his writing and I really like it, then I might hop into another one. You feel me? It might gonna be the last book I hop into, baby. Over 1,000 pages. 1,000 pages, baby. Yeah, you're gonna have to be last place just cause that's a lot. The next book that I'm gonna hop into is Into the Sublime by Kate A. Borman. I actually talked about this in a book haul that I did. Alrighty, so anyways, like I said, I'm most likely gonna hop into the Sublime by Kate A. Borman this fall. I'll just read what it says on the back. I'm not going to read the synopsis because, again, I read it in one of my book hauls, but it says, when the cops arrive, only a few things are clear. 4 girls entered a dangerous cave. 3 of them came out alive. 2 of them were rushed to the hospital. 1 is soaked in blood and ready to talk. So, again, that's the little spill on the back of it. Alrighty, and the last book that I have, besides the 2 book boxes that I have, is going to be Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney. Okay, I read the other book by her that I really enjoyed. I forgot the title of it. I might put the picture somewhere up in the video because I forgot the title. But I've heard really good things about Daisy Darker. The synopsis of this one reads, after years of avoiding one another, Daisy Darker's entire family is assembling for Nana's 80th birthday party in Nana's crumbling Gothic house on a tiny tidal island. They're finally back together one last time, and when the tides come in, they will be cut off from the rest of the world for 8 hours. The family arrives, each of them harboring secrets. Then at the stroke of midnight, as a storm rages, Nana is found dead. An hour later, the next family member follows. Trapped on an island where someone is killing them one by one, the Darkers must reckon with their present mystery as well as their past secrets before the tide goes out and all is revealed. With a wicked wink to Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None, Daisy Darker's unforgettable twist will leave readers reeling. So I heard really good things about it, and it sounds really, really good. It's giving And Then There Were Few by Family Guy. Do you guys remember that episode when they went to that like abandoned house and then like people kept dying off and shit like that? It's giving that to me, unless that was based off of Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None.
It was at this moment he knew.
It might be, because the title of that episode, And Then There Were Few, so it could be based off that book. Is that a book? Bitch, I don't know. Hold on, let me look it up, because I'm like, now that I'm reading the title, it sounds very similar. Yes, it is. Okay, technically it was titled And Then There Were Fewer. That is what it was titled. I think it wasn't it 2 episodes, a 2-part episode? But it says the episode borrows heavily from the comedy film Clue 1985 and The Murder by Death 1976, and it is largely based upon the 1939 Agatha Christie novel And Then There Were None. So that's where the Family Guy episode came from. I didn't realize that. I didn't know. But now I know. That's why I was like, oh, this gives me that episode vibe. And I see why, because they got it from that book, which she just mentioned in the synopsis. So yeah, that's Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney. I'm definitely gonna be hopping into it now because I really love that episode of Family Guy. Alrighty, so now we're gonna go ahead and hop into these book boxes. It's only 2. The first one is gonna be Folk of the Air series, the Cruel Prince series, pretty much. You got the Cruel Prince, the Wicked King, and the Queen of Nothing. I had this book box for a long time, like back in the day when I used to do my book hauls in front of my bookshelf. Yeah, back in those days. Okay. I guess it is a popular series. I ain't gonna cap. It's very popular. I'm the one late to the party, if I'm being honest, but I am gonna read the first book synopsis just because why not? It says Jude was 7 when her parents were murdered, and she and her 2 sisters were stolen away to live in the treacherous high court of Fairy. 10 years later, Jude wants nothing more than to belong there, but many of the Fae despise humans, especially Prince Carden, the youngest and wickedest son of the High King. To win a place at the court, Jude must defy him and face the consequences. From #1 New York Times best-selling author Holly Black comes the first book in a stunning trilogy filled with twists and enchantment as one girl learns the meaning of true power. Again, that's the synopsis of The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. Again, it's also the first book in the trilogy, The Folk of the Air, which also has the Wicked King, excuse me. And then you have the Queen of Nothing. And I've heard really good things about this series. So originally I was going to hop into this series before I think I hopped into Monday's Not Coming. So, but I decided to go with that one, which again I don't regret because you guys know that was a 5-star read for me. But again, this series, this trilogy, I would definitely be hopping into this fall. And then last but not least, the last book box that I have here, it's a big one. It is gonna be, how do I position this for you guys to see? The Twilight Saga White Collection. Oh, hope you guys can see. Bam. Yes, I got the, I guess you could say the special looking one where all the books are like white and stuff. Bam. Okay, so pretty much the Twilight series. Okay, I have never read the Twilight series. Now, have I watched the movies? Yes, I watched them. I actually, kid you not, when I was younger, I was never going to watch them because I was like, why would I be watching this? Like, really? No. And so I never watched it when I was younger. But then COVID came, and so, you know, we had to do the quarantine, staying in the house. So with that being the case, I ended up deciding to watch it, you know, because, you know, I'm at this point, you're sucking out, you can't do nothing. So you might as well watch something new. So I ended up watching the Twilight series, all the movies, during quarantine, during COVID. and fell in love with it. Genuinely, honestly, I was like, damn, that was pretty fucking good. It was good. I ain't gonna cap. I talked so much shit about it when I was younger, and then I watched it, and it was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. So I'm here reading the book for the first time, even though, again, I read that. When did COVID really start? Like 2021, 2020 maybe? Yeah, because I was in college. 2020 I think is when COVID really like popped off. So it's been a while since I read this, like seen anything about the story. Well, I'm just going to read the first synopsis, but it's not a lot to read because this is the white version, so they just have like a little spill on the back of it. It's not like a lot detail into this. It just says, Twilight, about 3 things I was absolutely positive. First, Edward was a vampire. Second, there was a part of him, and I didn't know how potent that part might be, that thirst for my blood. And third, I was unconditionally and irrevocably in love with him. Well, I definitely remember that part from the movie. Honey saw an ashy man in the lunchroom and just fell in love. I mean, he was pretty ashy. Let's be honest. They were ashy. Hey, that's none of my business. That's all I know. It's none of my business. But that's what the cover of the first book looked like. Okay? It is giving cute. It's giving cute. I don't know why I decided to buy like the cute version of this. Like, I was just going to have it up on my shelf. Like, I'm not going to actually use it to read it because I am. So maybe that wasn't the smartest thing to do. But yeah, again, I'll be reading the Twilight series most likely this fall. I'll probably do a reading vlog. Yeah, so that is it. That is the Twilight collection with the first book in it. But yeah, you guys. But anyways, that is it, you guys. That is pretty much my fall TBR. Yes. I think it's a pretty good selection of books to read this fall. I don't have that many spooky books though, low-key. I mean, again, I have the Stephen King books. That's it. I don't really have a lot of spooky books, to be honest with you guys. But I feel like I still kind of got the tone of it all with some of these books. Is giving fall, is it not? I hope so. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and also leave a comment down below as far as like what books are you guys reading this fall, or any of the books that I mentioned in this video you're gonna check out and read, or have you already read it? Do you like it? You know, tell your girl in the comments down below. And yeah, with all that being said, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.